Hi, everybody. What's up? This week, let's talk about clearance, Lego clearance, because Walmart, Target, and the Lego store are all clearancing out because there's retiring sets this month and making room for new stock. So, let's talk about the deals that we found so far in these clearance deals. So, most of our deals have been through Target and Walmart. Now, the Lego website has got some great deals going on right now. They have double points, but they're also clearancing out some sets. In fact, made the mistake the other night of placing an order and wish I had bought one other set on clearance, and that is the Everybody's Awesome set, because I have seen where they take that and put the astronauts, each colored astronaut on it, and I want to do that. So, because I'm slowly trying to get all the colors together. So that is one that is running $25 right now. I think the normal on it was 45 or 50. So it's about half price. But then, like I said, you're getting double points. So definitely check out the Lego store and the Lego website if you don't, like us, don't have a Lego store close. But Target and Walmart have really been doing deals. Of course, with those, the mileage varies depending on your store. So I know, for example, we have really three Targets close, but two that we really hit on a regular basis. One store we were at today had and has historically has had very little, and most of it's only like 15 to 20, 15, maybe 30% off. But then we have a second store, and we were there last night, and there was a lot of stuff that was 50% off. And they still had some in stock. So, like I said, definitely be hitting these up. In fact, I wish they had one set in stock because I already bought it once at 30% off, and I wish I could have gotten a second set. So, we'll kind of start there and talk about that. So, the set that I found last night that was half off, and wish that they had already bought it at 30% and wish they still had it, was this classic set. It was down to $20. It was 510 pieces. And the biggest sell for me on this, if you can see here, there's lots of translucent pieces in here, and especially the green, the yellow, and the blue, which I'm on a translucent kick right now to work on the retro space with the yellow, but then I'm using the other colors as part of planning out for Christmas, and if I do any more builds there for the Christmas village, especially around gingerbread houses, because those translucents make very pretty stained glass looking sugar windows in the gingerbread houses. So I was really hoping to pick up another set, and I will keep an eye out. But like I said, it was $21 at 30% off. So now it would be, I think it makes it like 15, something like that. I think it started at 30 when it was out. But that is a set to kind of keep an eye out for, especially if you're just wanting some pieces to do some MOC building. Next, we'll talk about Creator 3-in-1. Now, they have had the shark and I think the dinosaur 3-in-1 have been on clearance, which it's not something we collect. Not something piece-wise I would have bought. Now, they've been some really good deals on them. But like I said, they're not something I could part out. But some other sets that have been on sale at around $18 are the Creator 3-in-1 record player, radio, and microphone. Now, I have had this one for a while. I got it on a sale probably a while back, just for the record player, and I just haven't built it yet. But this one has been on sale as well. Like I said, I think it's around $18, which is roughly half off, because I think that one's a $30 set right there. And then the second one that was $18 that we found was the Creator 3-in-1, which is retiring this month. The flower pot with the rain boot and the flowers and the butterfly build. So, and this one you're still finding. Like this one I keep finding around. So it's possible this discount could go some more on this one. Because I've debated about a second set because I'm torn between the flower pot and the boot. But that was a really good find at $18. Then we move on to botanicals. And botanicals, we've been seeing this one on sale and on clearance, but it's the botanical set with the big white vase and the bigger flowers. That's more of a centerpiece sort of thing. This one was, I believe, $90. Again, it's one I've had for a while. I've seen, and it's been marked down now into the 60s, which is about what I paid for it. Mine came from Costco a while back, but it was down to $60. So that's about a 30 to 40% savings on that one. I'm not sure if that one's retiring just yet, but I think that one may be a December retiring set. Then Walmart had its deal days when Prime had their deal days a couple of weeks ago. And there was another botanical set that was part of their deals, and it was half price, and it was $25. And that's the succulent set. And so I went ahead and picked that up. I'm not a huge succulents fan as far as actual flowers, but I like the colors. Like, this is very colorful. And the fact that they're small, that'll kind of fill in. Downstairs, I have a plant shelf that's got all my Lego plants on it. So this will kind of fill in front of them. Just something kind of colorful to add around the front, since a lot of those are taller, to kind of build up into those. So this was a really good find. It's, like I said, at $25. I know that one's been at least $50. So again, half off. And then I said I was buying no more Harry Potter. And then we found a Harry Potter set on clearance. And my favorite character in Harry Potter is actually Fawkes, the Phoenix. And Fawkes is retiring in July. And they had a little mini Fawkes build for $15. And so I went ahead and picked it up. It also is really cool because it has a sorting hat and the sword of Gryffindor. And being a Gryffindor, very into that. So I did go ahead and pick this up because I did, like I said, I've talked about it. I did keep a few key Harry Potter things. And I do have a little bit of space on my Harry Potter shelf. And this will be nice because it's kind of taller to kind of fill in behind a few of the Harry Potter things that I kept. Like I said, kind of rotating out of that, but was definitely some of the cool things. Now, we did find two Star Wars sets. One of them Jared's already parted out because he just wanted the minifig. It was I think the N1 Starfighter from The Mandalorian. It was a small 4+ set, and I think he paid like $15 or $20 for it. So I don't have that one to show you. But he's also the Executor Super Destroyer is also on the retiring list, and he has found those on crazy clearance several places. In fact, he's picked up multiple copies of it to hold on to. But this one has been on clearance anywhere from about $60 down to like $30. So if you're a Star Wars fan, check them out. I know the Star Wars ones go quick, so you have to really be watching for those. But that's just, keep an eye out on these places. And the last two were the best discounts on some pretty large sets. The first one is the Magic of Disney set, which the funny thing here is we were at Bricks and Figs last weekend, and they had a used one in there for, I think, $50 or $60. And a friend of ours who works there was like, you really need to buy this, being the big Disney fans you are. And Jared's like, I'm only buying it if I can find it in the box or not put together, because this is a set I really want to put together. And he's like, I'm holding out because I know I can find it. Well, last night at Target, on an end cap where we have not seen it in months, there were two of them. And this is normally a $100 set, and it was 30% off at $70, which is about as cheap as it's ever been. It's a very popular set, mostly for the minifigs, because you get Belle and Simba and Bruno and Geppetto and Lilo, which Geppetto and Lilo are not ones you find very often. Lilo, of course, has been in the Stitch house, but Geppetto I've not seen before, and unless Bruno's in another Encanto set, maybe the Madrigal house. Don't know about that. You also get some little friends with Flounder and Sebastian, which will be cool because we do have a Ariel minifig in there, and we put them with them. So that, like I said, that was a good deal at 30% off. Still been the cheapest we found it. And the last one, which I think is really cool and I'm excited about, is we found the radio that's also retiring this month. And the radio actually makes noise. It has a sound break in it. Different than the sound breaks that are in the Star Wars sets that nobody likes. But it does have a sound break in it. I like the very retro feel to it. Again, this was a $100 set down to $70. And again, this was one of those random finds on an end cap in Target where I haven't seen that radio in probably 6 months, but at this point at least, if not longer. And we ran into it, I believe, at the Target going into not one of the Targets in Knoxville. Not sure if I got that one in Knoxville or Cleveland. But again, that was a really good find. So like I said, be sure right now that you're hitting up your Lego aisles at Target, Walmart. Check end caps, especially Target, random places, because while Walmart can be disastrous sometimes over in the toy section, I will say I feel like they do a better job of kind of keeping things contained. I don't know about your Target. Our Target's disaster doesn't even begin to describe the toy sections at any of them here lately. So you'll find Legos on end caps in the sporting goods section, in the home goods section. We found them there that are on clearance. Over in the school supplies. So definitely, if you've got some time, go play detective in Target and see what you can find. Like I said, they do still have some deals at all the Targets. They are starting to thin out a little bit because they have been clearancing them out now for probably this is probably going on the 3rd week of doing it. So, but let me know how much mileage you get out of this. Have you found any deals at your Target and Walmart lately, and what have you found there? Another one we found, and I don't have it in here, the donut truck. The donut truck is from the City Collection because I have a thing for the food trucks. It is on clearance, or at least at one of our Walmarts, just one, and it was $12 down from $20. So, again, mileage varies between Walmarts. Have not seen it on clearance at any of the Walmarts, and it is like stacked up at some of those Walmarts. It was stacked up at the one that had it for $12. So, again, these are all deals that to be had in a good way if to be into Lego without breaking the bank sometimes. I mean, like I said, we've been down from $15 all the way up to $70. But at least that, every little bit saves is a little more towards some other sets. So, again, like I said, just see what you can find and let me know. But that's it for this week. If you love Legos and playing with them as an adult, then you're adulting with bricks, and I'll see you next time.